opponent's playing Bishop Elijah. That's usually a good matchup for our control deck. So for 4 charges, they put a troop that costs 2 or less from their crypt back in their hand. Usually this is kind of a mid-range aggressive deck, which is a good matchup for our control deck. What's the matter, D-Money? This hand is very good. We've got both of our thresholds here. We've got a Thunderfield Seer on one. Transmog and Totem Trap are both excellent in the mid-range and aggressive matchups. I would love to keep this hand. Bright Moon Brave. That's interesting. Oh wait, this game has good music. I can turn the music on. There we go. Adapting to Hex is not terribly difficult as a Magic player. Check out this short article here, how to Hex. It talks about some of the differences between the 2 resource systems in the game. The biggest difference is the resource system between the 2. There's also, you can see here, my opponent and I started with different life totals here. They're playing Bishop Elijah while I am playing Dreaming Fox. They're similar to commanders, but they're not cards you play, but they each have an ability. Every time I play a resource out here, you'll see I get a point here in the corner towards my charge power. And my champion charge power says, for 7 charges, I create an Oracle Song, which is a spell that draws me 2 cards. And my opponent's champion power for 4 charges creates a troop with, or takes a troop with cost 2 from their discard pile and puts it back in their hand. I think because they have this as their champion power, I'm actually going to go ahead and Transmogrifade this. So what that does is this card takes my opponent's troop and turns it into a random troop, constant, or artifact with cost 1 less. Another Bright Moon Brave. That's interesting. Opponent commenting in chat that they are also a Magic player, and they started playing Hex because they saw it here. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun, and their constructed formats recently, they've just been like knocking their constructed formats out of the park, which I am primarily a constructed player when it comes to TCGs, so like having a constructed format that I find enjoyable is ideal. So my opponent's card here has a mechanic called Prophecy on it. This says the next troop in your deck gets +1/+1 permanently. So basically, when my opponent plays this troop out, it gives a power up to the next creature or troop that they're going to draw out of their deck. Would you like some granola? No blocks. How'd the Legacy Classic go? I died in a total of 3 turns, lost the entire match to Belcher. Lost the die roll. They killed me turn 1 while they were on the play. Game 2, I thought seized them on turn 1 and then died on their turn 1 anyways. You know, just Legacy things. Legacy has, like, some of the most polarizing games of Magic you'll find in Magic. Like, it has the deepest, most interesting games you will play out of any format in Magic. It also has, like, the least interesting, why did I bother to pay $40 and show up to play games of Magic, which is just, like, the 2 completely polarized ends of the spectrum. Yeah, Hex's limited formats are good too, but like, okay, so Commander Prompt, this is it's a 4/4 because it got bigger. It says their exhausted troops or their tapped troops have +2 power and their ready troops have +2 defense. I'm just going to go ahead and deny this. Just counter that. Because otherwise it'll give both of these +2 power basically, so it's going to add like 10 power to the table for 4 resources, so we don't want that to hang out. Battle Hymn. Okay, so it gives all their troops +1/+1 permanently. One of the nice things about playing this deck as a control player is that we get 25 starting life since each champion has different starting life totals. So I have two different options here. I could go ahead and just play this Dread End, which turns every troop in play into a 1/1 that dies end of turn, so it would, like, clean up my opponent's board. Or I could just, like, play Arcane Focus here and, like, hope to get a third troop out of them. Because I'm still at 22 life, I'm only taking 4 more next turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this Arcane Focus and try and get a little bit more value out of my Dread End here. Gonna go ahead and grab this Deny, I think. So that way, post Dread End, we have some ways to control the board. And things are able to play out. Perfect. So they played a William Rowan here. So we're going to get a third bit of value out of my Dread End. So we'll take 4 here down to 18, and then we'll play Dread End, turning all of these Dorks into Dreadlings. And turning their Dorks into Dreadlings is doubly good for us because my opponent's champion can bring things back from their discard pile. So turning them into Dreadlings means they'd be bringing back Dreadlings and not their actual troops that are powerful. Yeah, definitely too. Like they have more room to do neat and interesting things because, you know, like this prophecy mechanic. Like this is so simple, but you can't do this in paper because it's like you'd have to trust your opponent that they're like, yeah, this is the troop that I drew that has it on here, right? No, Battle Hymn does not apply to cards cast afterwards. This is probably prophesied from the Bright Moon Brave. So all of their guys turn into 1/1 Dreadlings now. And these guys will die at my opponent's end of turn. So we've got Transmog and Totem Trap to clean up whatever they're able to play out this turn. And then we'll have Deny to hold up after that. You need a decent computer to run it. It depends on what your definition of decent is. My netbook that's like 5 years old runs it. So I guess probably not. No, you don't need a gaming computer to play Hex. It's a little bit more resource intensive than Hearthstone or Eternal. But it's definitely not like, you know, cutting bleeding edge 3D graphics. This is, if you're a control player in Magic, this is one of my favorite cards in Hex. This is a 3-cost basic action, so basically 3-cost sorcery. It says the next action, resource, and troop gain the line of text when you play this draw card. So basically this is a 3-cost that draws 3 cards. Which is just like, it's pretty hard to beat that rate. If you can handle the memory links, imagine, right? The average competitive Hex deck is probably about $100 for their standard format. There are a lot of cheaper options to actually maintain a list of budget decks here. This deck I'm playing right now, I think is a little under 150. So this deck, this card's kind of sweet too. Another great control card. It's a 3/2 flyer for 4 that says when it comes into play, if they have more life than us, we gain 5 life, and if they have more cards than us, we draw 2 cards. So they didn't have more cards than us, but they had more life, so we gained 5. Occasionally I play Pokemon online. The biggest thing is, like, I largely play cards. Ow! You just hit me in the face with the remote. You're being evicted. Ow. That hurt. When your toddler gives you a black eye. Denton, if you check out that deck link there are... Oh, are you upset that I kicked you out because you hit me in the face? So they played a removal spell for my Dark Cart. Played another Lanupaw, so let's play this out, draw another card. And you can see this card says it's been prophesized, so it draws a card. So normally this card does not draw a card when you play it, but my Lanupaw site has modified this card in my deck. So my opponent has a 5/5 Swift Strike and Steadfast. So basically Vigilance, First Strike. If they control the card William Rowan, it gets a special effect. So before my opponent attacks here, I'm going to go ahead and Transmogrifade this, hopefully turn it into something worse. They get a random 2-cost card. And that's much worse. This is just a 1/3 that every time it diligence, every time it readies, it creates a random 1-cost troop. I'm going to attack with my Owl again here. I'm going to play another dark card. You can see here, this card has a 3 in the corner. That means that its cost, and because it's green, its cost has been reduced by 2. Because it says when you draw this card, it gets -2 cost until end of turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Dorko out. And he says, whenever, at the start of each player's turn, they sacrifice a non-socketed card. So you can see here, it says major and minor socket here. Socketed cards are cards that you can customize during deck building and sideboarding. So you see here in between games, I can change what this card does based on the different threshold or colors that I can produce. I played Paper Pokemon one time, and it is largely the reason why I no longer play Pokemon TCG. Because it is a game full of miserable liars and cheats. And it's just like, apparently it's just kind of known that Pokemon is just like full of miserable liars and cheats, and just people are just like, well, this is what it is, and it's never going to change. It's just like, God, it's super miserable. Alright, so we're going to bring in more removal here. I'm not quite sure what my opponent's deck is doing. It feels like they might be a Crusader deck, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't really want to board like that necessarily. Let's leave these in, maybe. I'm going to give this a try. Bring in the extra Dark Heart and the extra Glory. Trim some of my Silver Talon Adjudicators. Dex and Hex are 60 cards for constructed and 40 cards for limited. Seems a little medium minus. I guess I have a Transmogrifade to like blunt their early blow and then like denies to hold up. They could very well just get under this hand here. Oh, that's true, STB. I didn't think about that. Loregoyle might be worth it. Alright, the fact that I drew a well here means that I'm going to go ahead and cycle this coin, I think. So I'm going to lead on Sapphire here. Wise Magistrate's kind of annoying. So this is a 3/2 Steadfast. Says whenever we play a card, all the other cards in our hand get +2 cost. I don't think I want to Transmogrifade that. Yeah, it's probably going to get annoying at some point. Let's just get rid of that. And you see it made these cost 5. This will turn into a random 1-drop here. Sweet. Well, my Thunderfield Seer can trade with this. And this card prophecies into my deck here. This says the next action of my deck gains line attacks, draw cards. This is a 1/1 for one that cantrips eventually. It doesn't cantrip right away, but somewhere down the line. The Pokemon Online client is beautiful, and I really enjoy Pokemon TCG's gameplay, but like the fact that there's like no way to play it for reasonable stakes kind of made me lose interest in it. Like, if I could play it using the online client and, like, tournaments for relevant prize, that would be, like, 10 out of 10, like, ship in on the Pokemon. But, like, Hex has, like, cash tournaments that I can play from home. So it's like, why would I spend time on these other things where I can't make money when I could spend time here, you know, playing a TCG that I enjoy and earning prizes? Why did I not play a Slow Shard after the Seer? Because I wanted to have the option to hold deny this turn or cycle the Wakuna Coin. And I want to make a charge with this. I didn't want to make a threshold with this. This either makes a threshold or a charge. So basically, I'm greedy. Is the TLDR, believe it or not. I'll hold on to this Thunderfield Seer for now. I don't think I want to cash it in to just gain 2. I think I'm denying almost anything they cast here, and they're not casting anything. Let's go ahead and cycle these Wakuna Coins. Morning, Jeb. Psychic Ascension. I think at this point I have to play this out for a diamond, because if we hit a Eldurathan's Glory, we want to be able to play it. I think I'm going to throw this away for 2 points of damage this turn. Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? Like, Pokemon and Magic have, like, inverse issues. Like, in Magic, their online client is, like, medium minus, but their, like, paper tournaments are, like, excellent. And in Pokemon, their paper tournaments are miserable, but their online client is excellent. Yeah, right? Just draw the Psychic Ascension. Bright Moon Brave, that's fine. So use this to gain some life. In case we draw the Glory, it's going to get voided anyways. I mean, kinda. I'm probably still firing off this Deny on most things just to draw the card, honestly. I probably should have left the Dread Ends in my deck. I probably should have assumed they were a Daughter of the Poet deck since they were on Bishop Elijah and Mono Diamond. The lack of Dread Ends in my deck is definitely a mistake right now. Let's see if we end up getting punished for that. They don't have a super quick clock right now. Battle him. We can deny the crap out of that. Let's let us draw a card here. No, Daughter of the Poet brings back a troop every turn. Dingle can counter something. So now here's the awkward part about having gotten that second damage, that Primal Prism. That resource did not give me a charge towards my champion power. So when I play the 7th resource next turn, I'm not going to be able to activate my champion power. Really want to draw Eldurathan's Glory. Also wouldn't mind drawing Darkheart. Other Dingle. Okay. Well, the good news is drawing a resource next turn is fine, because then we get to activate my champion power. So Dingle doesn't just interrupt the troop on the chain, it turns it into a 0/1. So that means even if my opponent brings it back with something like Daughter or their champion power, they are not going to be happy about what it is, but that's coming back. I wonder what's in their hand at this point. Glory. Alright, it's a Darkheart. Just makes them sacrifice something every turn, and they can't attack into it profitably. And if they have removal spells for this, I have 2 denies here. And deny gets cheaper when a troop comes into play under our control. I have to imagine they just have a bunch of removal in their hand, right? Like, they're either on removal or resources here. Like, what are they not playing out? Weird. Okay. Ten out of 10 denying that. I'm going to try and keep this on the board to the best of our abilities. Probably have another one here. Like I said, there has to just be like a gripful of removal in their hand. Kind of wish they would have played removal at our end of turn so we could deny using this. Yep. Now we're going to hit for 3 here, and then at their end of turn, the Bright Moon Brave is going to come back into play from the Daughter of the Poet. Alright, another Darkheart, sure. And yeah, they keep getting something back with Daughter, so we're not actually, like, making room on controlling their board, but we are at least, like, if this lives, it gets to, like, block, so it stops their offensive, so hopefully we could, like, bridge the gap into this Psychic Ascension, or drawing some cards and getting some life. We have Silver Talon Adjudicators in our deck still. Maybe draw a Glory. 10 out of 10, Dingling William Rowan. That's not okay. He's gonna turn into a 1/2 Dingler. This might be a little aggressive if they're like baiting with this and they have like another Decree of Banishing or a Diamond's Favor here, but I don't think I can let William Rowan sit on the table. It's gonna kill us very quickly. And like flipping actual Rowan out would be real bad for us. They don't have another piece of removal here. We're going to be in like a kind of stabilized spot, which is nice. What on earth does this attack mean? I'm so confused. Okay, so they get their Great Moon Brave back to play. Gosh. I've ever wanted to draw a resource so bad in my life. We got Totem Trap here. Destroy target attacking or blocking troops. So if they do get rid of the Dark Heart, we can then trap the daughter and then dingle it on the way back down. Ardent Crusader. And by that, I mean we have to dingle this. It's 5/5 with flight, probably. Yep. Alright, have another 1/2 dingle. Hero of Legend. Yeah, that's probably fine. I think I need to hold this deny for a removal spell at this point. You can't actually attack here. From the people I've talked to, what I experienced at that Pokemon event was not outside of the norm. Glory. Arcane Focus. Could be anything, even a Glory. Another Arcane Focus, sure. Could be anything, even a Glory. There we go. Eldurathan's Glory here. When this comes into play, it voids every troop with defense 3 or less. So it's going to get rid of basically my opponent's entire board. And then Darkheart says sack something at the start of your turn. And they're either going to lose their Hero of Legend or they're going to lose this Decree of Banishing, giving me another Darkheart. Yep. This Psychic Ascension is getting cheaper and cheaper every time we play an action. This gets costs less. Intrepid Conjurer, sure. So that should mostly wrap this game up since we found the Glory at this point. We don't have the resource. We get to draw 2 cards and then play the Oracle Song the following turn. So I do have to sacrifice my own Glory here, which kind of sucks. Actually, a pretty bad draw. I guess it draws us a card eventually here. So they're going to sacrifice probably their Intrepid I guess I could sacrifice the Martyred Saint theoretically since this comes back into play as a constant. This can chump block here. Actually, this plus the Totem Trap can kill this, which is kind of nice. Although I guess their Champion Power can bring one of these guys back to their hand. Sure. Oh, and actually, they don't want to attack because I just double block, right? Since I'm going to lose the Thunderfield Seer anyways. I'm not really sure we have bad draws left in our deck at this point. Yep, because a resource gives us the last charge we need for our Champion Power. So we'll hit this, which creates an Oracle Song for us, which lets us draw 2 cards. Although my control deck gets to gas back up in the mid-game. And now we play this Darkheart out. So they're going to have to sacrifice 2 non-socketed permanents on their turn here. So they're going to lose these 2, because again, they don't want to sacrifice this Decree of Banishing, because then I get another Darkheart back. This card is so good. Just, you know, none of my non-socketed cards are particularly good. Maybe I should have Transmogrifaded this, actually. That's probably true. This draws a card, too. GG's opponent. So didn't even need the Psychic Ascension to finish that off there. Moving on up a couple ranks. We're 37 on the ladder, so the constructed season lasts through the end of June. We need to stay in the top 64 here. The best way to do it, people often ask, like, the best way to maintain ladder ranking, and the best way is just, like, start early and play a couple matches every single day, you know. You can play 3 or 4 matches 3 or 4 days a week. What should I do with my 100 Shards of Fate pack? I don't actually know the answer to that, Yellow Kiwi. There's an auction house that you can try and sell them on. You could also open them. So Shards of Fate, those cards just rotated out of Standard. Standard is currently sets 3 through 6. So, I'm not actually sure if Shards of Fate boosters are worth anything right now. You can check their little hammer here in the corner is the auction house. You can click into that to search for things like the booster packs and see what they're listed for. $72, Bobby, you must not have been playing much at all. I didn't play a ton last week, and I'm still where I'm at. All right. Yeah, it's weird how they just avoid the mechanics that are uninteresting. Constructed, please pop the queue now. I want to get my dirtle on. Do, this dirtle. Dirtle. Yeah, the Horrors of War takes a lot of setup, right? Ah, next victim. Uzu. So could be statistically probably the Empress deck. Could also be a Uzu Tri-Shard control deck. Sounds okay against Empress. I think I'm gonna keep this. It's like a decent hand in general. We could just get run out of the game when they're Empress though. Yep, looks like they're the Empress deck. Would you like to come in and sit with your father? If you promise not to smack me in the face again, you can come in and sit with me. What you think, huh? What you think? You want some granola? Dingle's an okay draw there. I think I'm going to start by Arcane Focusing here and see what we get. Looking for resources. Perfect. Grab that. I'm just going to pass the turn here and hold the Transmogrifade up. We'll take the hit for this on 1, and then if they play a 3-drop that we care about, we'll Transmog that. Otherwise, we'll Transmog this at end step. What you got, opponent? So this card, when it diligences or readies, they get 2 Dreadlings until end of turn. Let's see what their follow-up is here. Alright, Tribunal Magistrate's going to resolve. This says whenever we play a card, it puts 2 Spider Eggs into our deck, so that gets really annoying for us as a control deck. So let's go ahead and Transmogrifade that into a 2-1. Perfect. Another resource is excellent here. Yeah, should have gone and passed the turn. I'm going to take 5 here. Hopefully we can bridge until we get to this Eldurathan's Glory. Next turn, it might just be like deny their play here, and the next turn, like, take a turn off and go, like, Focus plus Sight. So we can follow up with Glory. If they have Copycat here, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Commander Prompt. We're going to deny the crap out of that. It's the one that says their exhausted troops get +2 power, so let's just get that out of here. That would add 8 power to this table. So if they have a Copycat here, which they do, they can Copycat the Pious Paladin, which reverts it into a Tribunal Magistrate, which gives these Dreadlings plus power. Unfortunate for us. Dread End. Huh. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they don't have another payoff card in their hand, and by that I mean we're going to brick and die, because we didn't find another resource. Rough. Am I just casting this? Yeah, I think I'm just casting this. We need to draw a non-slow resource next turn, so we can Dread End, and they have to not have a payoff this turn, so we have a lot of things that could make this break wrong for us here. This matchup's kind of close. I think we're a little bit ahead on average, but we definitely need to have things line up right, and we were on the draw this game, and we're missing our resources, so... Well, I guess we haven't missed a resource yet. They hit a Copycat, and Copycat the Tribunal Magistrate. We're going to be up a creek here. Because that'll make these 9 power, I think. Oh, jeez. Throw on we're dead to a Copycat. We're taking casual 13 here. Alright, if we had a non-slow shard, we could go to 1 next turn. And then we're dead to a lot still. Alright, oh, I hit a non-slow shard, so, you know, play to your outs, I guess. This turns all of their guys into 1/1s. So dead to Prompt, dead to Tribunal Magistrate, dead to Warp Steel with Dreadling, Warp Steel making Dreadlings. Alright, let's get some of this clunk out of our deck. Eldurathan's Glory is miserable in this matchup. Dread End is not good for the reason you just saw. Dark Heart is stellar. Protection and Hope in here. We want Pride's Falls, we want Diamond's Favors, we do not want Totem Traps. Clash of Steel is very reasonable. Silver Talon Adjudicator is a little medium minus, I think. This is the configuration we were going with when we were practicing for the CCS. Let's give this a go. I'd love to go first. I'm not saying it's not exciting, but it's fine. Wakuna Coin on 1 and pass here. Got 3 pieces of interaction. So, I actually want to play this for Diamond, or I want to play it for a charge. So I'm not going to play it out this turn, even though it's a slow shard, because I want to play my Thunderfield Seer this turn. Hey, Dark Wonders. Yep. X is back on the menu. Skittering Cultivator. Do I just X-Mog this? I think I do. Sweet, we can just block this with this guy. I'm gonna play this out and get a charge here. It might be greedy. Draw Clash of Steel we can't cast. We'll feel bad about it, but... Dark Wonders with the 7-month free subscription. Welcome back and thank you for the continued support. I don't know where my Twitch alerts is. They popped up earlier. Maybe they're being laggy today. At any rate, thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. We only have 2 double diamond cards in our deck, right? Like, I don't think it's that greedy. Twitch alerts! Oh, I totally just clicked through. I was leading there. There's the Pikachus! We got some Pikachus in our lives. Look at that. Clicked through my Wakuna Coins cycle, but we got some Pikachus, so everything worked out. Still just have nothing going on. It's good for us. Now we will cycle this. Okay, look at that. We have a second diamond source now too. Ding, ding, ding. Sure, cycle your coin. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because like opponent's deck has like Consultant Talons and stuff like that in it, so they could definitely generate a lot of card advantage as the game goes along. Go ahead and deny this. God, that feels bad. So, this had draw a card on it from this Thunderfield Seer, so like, that means that, so in response to this trigger targeting this, I'm going to go ahead and Diamond's Favor and destroy the commander prompt. You know, maybe because they were representing Halt there, I should have, and I had the Diamond's Favor, I should have let this resolve. And then, yeah, I think I messed that up. I should have let that resolve, and then Diamond's Favor, and then they'd halt the favor, and then I'd deny the halt, and then I'd end up drawing my card. So I'm down a card because of my sequencing mistake there. So yeah, I think I miffed that up. See if they have another payoff card here, which they do. It's unfortunate. I'm going to Transmogrifade this now before damage, so if this works, we get to take less. Warp Steel, sure.
You can put it on there.
That's not particularly good hits. Alright, Adjudicator might be good at some point. Hold on just a second, I need to unplug my webcam so I can help my wife with something.
Are you winning?
I don't know where my other cord went.
Right here. Is this constructed?
Yep.
Steve, is it constructed?
Yep. We might try and play some more Mortal later today. Alright, so... Alright, so they've got 2 cards in. Wow, this is actually pretty good for us here. So we get to play this and get a thingamahoo's here, and then we get to play Silver, or Thunderfield Seer, and then we get to play Silver Talon Adjudicator with less life and less cards than them, which is excellent.
Hashtag value, Declan.
So our next action is going to draw 2 cards here. No, you can't have mom's phone. Dad's putting files on it. Ow!
Jumped.
Okay, so Emperor's Vice is kind of annoying here. I'm just gonna go ahead and Transmogrifade this, so that way he can't exhaust my things. I want my troops to be able to hold their troops back.
Ow, that hurts. Ow! Ow!
You missed.
Punching.
Sorry, the camera's unplugged for you. Missed Declan headbutting me, because that's what the toddler does. He just likes to attack, attack, and attack. That. Yep. Hey. Dark card, everyone start sacrificing non-socketed things. Sign me up. Don't hold resources in Hex. Never do it. Let's leave this back. Probably the conservative thing to do, so they're gonna lose their copycat here. Looks like we're looking favored this game. Remember, we cost ourselves. We would have had this dark card return sooner if I would have just like sequenced my things better earlier today. Lanupaw, please don't have a Verdict of the Ancient Kings. Good God. God bless. Alright, this game should be over at this point. Resolve the draw 5. I will not be at STG Baltimore. It's just touch too much travel. Start attacking here. Need to close this game out here at some point. Now remember, Dark Heart says they sacrifice non-socketed things, so these Warp Steel Shards or a Depth Crawler are not going to go away. In fact, I'm not sure what my next Paper Magic event's gonna be. Playing paper TCGs is so much infinitely less convenient than playing on the computer. And like, Magic Online added their challenge events recently, so like, I think I might just play those if I want to play bigger Magic events. Game 3, Declan. This is for all the bananas. Public user. Can we beat public user? Are we gonna get him? Sand's not particularly good. Missing a threshold. Only has one piece of removal. So pretty easy mulligan here. This hand also doesn't have any removal in it, but it's got a focus. And it's got both of our thresholds, so... Also, playing Modern competitively right now sounds super miserable. Things I do not want to spend my time and money doing right now, playing Modern competitively. Our opponent does have 65 cards in their deck. I don't think they had 65 cards pre-board. No! Are you speaking in tongues, child? Someone please send help. My child is possessed. The 1v1 commander seems sweet. Oh God. Stop headbutting me. Stop headbutting me. Why are you such a monster? Why are you such a monster? Alright, so we're gonna attack for 1 by the Skittering Cultivator. Oh, they missed their resource. That's good for us. Probably because they boarded up to 65 cards. We the Exorcist now, boys, right? Well, since they missed last turn, I'm going to go ahead and play this Lanupaw slide out. And then hope they don't have something that I need to deny this turn. This is our best chance to get that in. Are you upset that I won't let you hit me in the face? Can you brick for 1 more turn, opponent? Rats! Alright, so if they get to play a Tribunal Magistrate here, we're gonna be... God bless America. Yeah, the critical's turn 4, but, like, Tribunal Magistrate here is pretty bad for us. I agree that playing Sight there is objectively correct, but it still doesn't feel good. And by that, I mean we hit the running perfects here, so let's go. Am I supposed to just Dark Card here? I'm probably just supposed to Dark Card here since it's cheaper, right? Suck it! Oh, this lets them sacrifice a Dreadling. That's unfortunate. Now if they hit their shard again here and go pay off Cat plus Transmogrifade, we're going to be in trouble. But if they don't have all of those things, we could very well be in this. Seriously? Ugh. Alright, don't play another payoff. Don't do it. Have a heart. Ugh. We're about to get copycatted. Hopefully just once. You know what the awkward part is, too? There's only 2 Diamond's Favors in our deck, and we happen to draw both of them. I'm gonna leave this back now, because I can kill this 2-1 in combat. So, during my opponent's ready step, I'm going to play this Diamond's Favor. This way, if they have a halt, they have to spend resources on their turn to do it. Yeah, could you imagine if the second Favor was in our deck? We just got to, like, cast both of them here and, like, we're insulated against counter magic. We do only have one other Silver-Tailed Adjudicator in our deck, don't we? Sweet. Diamond Banishing. Destroy that guy. Let's deny that one, draw a card. Alright, speaking of Adjudicator. Well, huh. So if I Transmogrifade this, I get to draw cards with this. That seems worth it. So we're gonna gain 10, draw 2 here. Sign me up. Wakuna Coins, because we have plenty of resources, so we'll take the one that cycles over the one that doesn't. Okay, we got value from... Would it have been worth it to simply Diamond's Favor the problem? I don't think so, because, so, like, here's the reason to hold the Diamond's Favors. Like, this situation right here where we just, like, tapped out and don't have any resources up, the Deny is only good when we can hold resources up, whereas, like, the Diamond's Favor lets us spend all of our resources here and then still have insulation. Okay, generally, we don't care too much about Empress of Ice here, so we've got plenty of life. Let's see if they have a shard here to exhaust both of these or not. Opponent transmogged our dark card into a locket. Let's play Seer first here. Oh! Oh, there was only one other Seer left in our deck. Why, thank you, opponent. Oh, there was only one other focus left in our deck. Thank you, opponent. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lanupaw site. We probably can't lose the game if that resolves. Well, this transmog has all of a sudden worked out very well for us. I think this means there's only one other site left in our deck. Yeah, so that means... when we play this site out next turn, it's going to cast another one. Oh god, I love Hex. This game is great. You are really lucky. Look, bro, it's your Transmogrifade here. I don't wanna hear about how lucky I am. Opponent needs a Drown Shrine, right? So they're hitting us for 5 here. So sight into the site that draws cards? Yeah, probably. Clearly Locket is great, and we should be playing our decks, right? Where's a Clash of Steel when you need one? Probably somewhere in all of these cards we're about to draw. Oh, like that? Like that there? Alright, well, sure. I'm gonna keep this Locket of Reflection. Yeah, we 10 out of 10 keep the Locket here. They kept their Skittering Cultivator. But do I Lanupaw? I'm gonna Lanupaw Sight because I wanna do it with the Locket. Maybe that was greedy. That was probably almost certainly greedy. Almost certainly too greedy, but we'll draw an answer to this at some point, right? Stop judging me, Burgle. I can feel you judging me. This last card's a Transmogrifade, isn't it? Well, there's still 2 dark cards left in our deck because we didn't play out the other one. Perfect. This Locket is gonna deck us, isn't it? I probably can't play this Lanupaw Sight, can I? Yeah, fuck it. Oh, dang it. This dark card draws 3 cards. Oh, come on. Rolled those dice and lost. Champion maximum hand size is reduced by 3. I mean, I guess we have 2 dark cards now, so, you know, whatever. All those cards drawn and no hand to keep them in. The old valiant escort my Dingle back to my hand. It's not that we need these resources, it's the principle of the thing. Is this karma? If so, why, right? I mean, it's not like we chose to draw 8 cards instead of playing the card that locked my opponent out of the game. Like, that would be obscene. Let's deny this, because these things don't die to the dark card. And they will buy them infinite turns. Okay, well, that means if we draw Ascension, it'll be live. Alright, there we go. Good place to have the last card's a Dingle. Oh, inoculation webs. Don't mind if I do exhaust this. Not shifting that one. That would let us draw cards, which would be bad at this point in the game. Things we are not in the market to do. Draw cards. You know, you want to just take, come on, just kind of just, alright, so these will make them sacrifice the Dingle and the Skitter and Cultivator. That's why I didn't attack this turn, because they're going to lose both their guys anyways. Clearly, I should just always board in Loregoyle Curator so I don't deck. Both of these. I can play a bunch of quick actions on my opponent's turn to like make a bunch of troops and maybe push lethal next turn. We should be okay here. I mean, at the very least, we have the moral victory over our opponent, right? Like we drew way more cards than they did. Yeah, this is putting eggs in my opponent's deck every turn. Yep, I'm aware. Guess who's about to get lost in time, Mr. Warpsteel Shard Sworn. Alright. Make it action. Peace, Aaron. Ah! Got him. Get him. Got him good. Got some granola. This deck just generates good games of Hex. Like, I think that's about how that matchup goes on average. If our cards line up well against them, I think we're a firm favorite. The doppelganger chose not to die, right? Another Uzu opponent. Could be Empress again. Could also be a control deck. I might keep this. If they're a control deck, this hand is so good. We drew every card in our deck and we managed to win the game. Empress deck. So under the gun to draw some interaction here. Do I want to just play this out? I think I do. I'm just gonna play this out. This maybe shouldn't be in my deck. The number of times I gain thresholds off it are really low, it feels like. So we're going to hope we can lean on this Dread End to not lose this game. On the play, it might be fast enough. Gosh. I always had the Skittering Cultivator. This deck's so good when you have Skittering Cultivator on too. Oh, that's exactly what this hand needed. Another draw 3. This one draws 4 technically because of the Seer. Oh yeah, what's not to love? So next turn, we'll get to go Wakuna or Lanupaw's Sight into Wakuna Coin, draw a card. Hopefully set up the Dread End for the following turn. I don't know. I mean, it's not like we're losing games because of the Prism. Alright, so we need to not die this turn. Man, I wish our opponent was playing Uzu Control. His hand would be unbeatable for the control deck. Just all 4 Lanupaw sights to the top 12 cards of our deck. Alright, let's see how many cats they got. How did are we? We're dead to 2 cats here, I believe. There's 1 Prism in the deck, okay? 1. Alright. Here's some Dreadlings. Don't Commander Prompt or Magistrate me. Again, just like dead to a lot here. Is what it is. Including that. Like we did in the last matchup. Yep. Any more granola? Need the Loregoyle so we don't deck, right? That's probably not keepable. It's not stellar, but it's fine. Alright, so the real pivotal turn is 4 in this matchup, so I'm just going to go ahead and Lanupaw Sight this turn, just to, like, if they get Tribunal Magistrate down, they get Tribunal Magistrate down. I need to get this card going at some point. By that, I mean we're going to run into a Verdict of the Ancient Kings, and then they're going to play a Tribunal Magistrate, and then we're going to pitch ourselves off the tallest building. Oh god, they're missing their resource drop. God bless. Alright, well, unless they have a Dingle in their deck, the Silver Talon Adjudicator is about to pick some cards up. Ring a ding ding da ding da ding bing 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 a ding ding da ding da ding 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 ring a ding ding da bing da ding 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 ding. Now we have some Transmogrifades for their 3-drop. No 3-drop. That's good for us. The fact that they had no 3-drop means I'm going to go ahead and play this Lanupaw Sight out. I'm going to Transmogrifade this. I guess I can wait and see if I draw a Dark Heart here. They have protection. They're probably fighting over this, honestly. Yeah, it's fine. Ooh. I love playing cards that draw cards when we're infinitely ahead. Alright, so I am going to show a little bit of restraint here, and I'm not going to play this next Lanupaw Sight out just yet. I'm going to hold the deny up as we pass back to our opponent here. Let's try and deny that. Ooh, I found a piece of candy. I'm going to lead Lanupaw Sight first here, so that way this Dark Heart could draw some Prophesied cards. And did not find an Onslow Shard, so unlucky. Let's play this out. Be able to champ power next turn, crack with this Adjudicator. They have Transmogrifade here, they're still in the game. If they don't have Transmogrifade here, they're going to be pretty dead. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess they have another turn now because they can sacrifice one of those. I always forget that that's how that works. Adjudicator's probably going to get to draw cards next turn as well. Okay, copycat. Are they getting a Dark Heart of their own? Sure. I will sacrifice this non-socketed card. How about this Silver Talon Adjudicator that draws 2 cards? I am just a simple man who wants to draw a lot of hex cards. I'm going to go ahead and Transmogrifade this so they can't, so I'll have to sacrifice it to my Dark Heart. How about another one? They are Zephyred up. They are The arcanest of Zephyrs over there. Hi, Internet. Say hi, my name is Declan. I wonder if we just ascend next turn. Yeah, that is 3 Zephyrs, so they've got a lot of them. The Empress list my team was working on for the CCS had a similar number of Zephyrs in it, so like it's not that surprising, I don't think. Let's throw this Dark card out. Sweet. Let's activate this. Oracle Song, draw a couple cards. We can still cast this Deny because we played a troop out this turn. I cannot play another Dark card out, though. It's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and attack with this Dark card. No one is having anything that's not socketed, right? Alright, so those bounce. So now, this is going to make 2 Dreadlings, but then they have to sacrifice 3 non-socketed things here, so... So long, Skittering Cultivator. You've done the dirty enough here. Ugh. Dad's gonna finish this match, and then we will go upstairs and eat some lunch, okay? Attempt to Pride's Follow Your Door. Dang. Alright, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna play this out. I want to play the Psychic Ascension while I have Deny up. And by that, I'd be either dead on board next turn, so whatever. He might just have a bunch of things that just, like, can't beat the Dark Hearts, right? I think it's very likely they just have a bunch of cards that just like they could have a bunch of Empresses in hand. So this buys them a turn. That's kind of funny. We're gonna deny another Empress here, just so we can try and kill them. Skittering Cultivator, sure, don't care about that. Yep, okay, board plan's still looking good here. It's like the Dark Heart beatdowns with supplemental removal. Some of the hits would have sockets. Right, the way we're running today, we definitely would hit Ascension into some socketed troops. We running. We got the real run goods going on. Ugh. My body is ready to get them. Get him done. We're now 3-2 in games against Empress on the day. I think this matchup's pretty close to a coin flip, but both players are playing well and drawing average, so if we lose this and finish 3-3, like, wouldn't be too surprised. That being said, let's try and win it out here to finish a good 3-0 set with the Sapphire Diamond control deck on the morning. I'm gonna keep this. Not having Dark Hearts in our deck to Miracle kind of sucks, but having Dark Heart on 5 is pretty reasonable. Their better card against us is Tribunal Magistrate, and we can go, like, kill their turn 3 Tribunal Magistrate into play Lanupaw's Sight, or now we can even hold Deny on 3, potentially. always have Skittering Cultivator on 2. It's like the Might Singer rule, right? When do they have Skittering Cultivator on 2? When it's your opponent. Alright, I think the fact that we hit another resource here means I'm just gonna pass. If they don't play into our cards here, I'm gonna transmog this at end step so it stops generating idiots. Am I okay with this? I think I am. This is giving him a window to stick stuff here, which kind of sucks. Alright, I think our turn's just going to be transmog this plus play Lanupaw side out. He showed us a bunch of Zephyrs, so don't be too surprised if this doesn't work. Wow, that worked. That's good for us. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and play this Lanupaw site now. Pass the turn. If my opponent did Zephyr us there, I think we'd hold up Diamond's favor. So that way, we could protect ourselves from a copycat turn like we're about to have happen here. How many cats you got? Please only be one. Yep. Sweet, only one cat. Silver Talon Adjudicator. Alright, so I get to play this. I don't think I can actually Adjudicator this turn. So it draws 3 cards, but I think I actually have to impact the board now. I think I want to just Dark Heart. It'll kill this Underworld Decree, which is actually relevant because, like, them making Dreadlings, they'll have 5 power Dreadlings. Let's just pass back. So they'll lose a Commander Prompt or an Underworld Decree here. If they don't have a Transmogrifade, this Dark Heart can trade with one of these prompts in combat. If we're really lucky, it'll still be able to trade with the Commander Prompt in combat here. That's unfortunate. Yep. I'm gonna take 14 here. Hopefully we draw a resource here that's not slow. Pride's Fall. That's pretty decent, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and Pride's Fall this now. That card. Transmogrifade, that's great. Yeah, so we're gonna Transmogrifade the Copycat now, so it'll turn into a cat. And then on their turn, this Diamond's Favor is gonna be able to kill this Commander Prompt. We're gonna stop during their ready step. So that way they have one less chance to draw a Vert to the Ancient Kings. So now this has 5 defense, so we'll go ahead and play Diamond's Favor here and destroy a random opposing troop with 5 defense or more. Man, that all just lined up really well. That all just lined up really well. That's pretty good. Are we dead here? So this will make him sack the Copycat. That did not get the Dreadling Gem. I'm going to have 2 blockers. And yeah, damn, we're dead, huh? I guess I can play this and hit a removal spell for the Commander Prompt. I mean, yep, okay. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 ha. Staying alive. Watch there be another Commander Prompt here. Sure. They don't have another payoff here. Let me get to Adjudicator. We could be getting into the window here. Owl triggers the Thunderbolt Warden. That's true. Okay. Yep. I think I'm gonna lead on focus here, see what we get. Pride's Fall's a pretty good pickup. Yep, I'm gonna play this, draw a card. And we hit Shard to hold this Pride's Fall up. I'll draw 2 off of this next turn. Waiting for like Clash of Steel, basically. I mean, these create Valors that draw cards in our deck, so like they're basically like just like a wash, right? The game is slowly slipping away from my opponent here. Advantage bar, if this was a Magic the Gathering Pro Tour feature batch, would slowly be creeping into our side. The Psychic Ascension will hopefully help us lock it up if we like Shard and then other reasonable castables here. Yeah, so next turn, we can play this Psychic Ascension and have Pride's Fall / Dingle up, and that should hopefully lock the game. Yeah, they've got nothing here. Okay, and now, if they don't have a Verdict to counter this Ascension, we're going to run away with the game. Alright, sweet. That should probably be the game. Dance Macabre. Transform all troops in your crypt into phantoms and put them into play. How many troops in here? Actual 0. Good. Excellent. Just like we drew it up. Didn't have a Verdict last turn. They could have like an Arcane Zephyr, so we definitely want to counter that way. That's unfortunate. Cat is definitely a card they could have been holding. I guess Cat's a reason. Nah, I think we're supposed to play around the Arcane Zephyr there. Okay. So they're going to get to exhaust 2 of my things here and then attack for an okay amount. I get to Pride's Fall this, where our troops aren't going to ready next turn, but they'll ready the turn after that. If they attack with everything here, we get to block 1 and then take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just attacking with that. That's pretty great for us. Alright, let's Pridefall this. This triggers when we make idiots. That's great. We'll give this minus a power. I'll give that minus a power. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this and see what we get. Probably should have done that first. Play this only if you control more troops than the opponent. Okay, sure. Cyclone Shaper is a good hit. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play this Dance Macabre. Is just give us a random... Alright, that'll probably lock the game up. We just created an Eldurathan's Glory that cleared the board. You know. Hex is hard. Have I mentioned how much I love Psychic Ascension? This control deck is so great. Attack with both of these. They're probably not going to block. And I'm going to play this Dark Heart post-combat. Is Ascension good? If so, why? Yep, so, I mean, if you're looking for a game with a great control deck, and you want to just play control and Hex, this deck is great. I top 8 of the CCS with this deck. Unfortunately, the top 8 was not constructed. If the top 8 was constructed, I would have been a very strong favorite to win the tournament. Unfortunately, Hex doesn't have constructed-only tournaments, really, which is kind of sad. Hopefully that changes at some point in the near future. At any rate, thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Just wanted to sign on for a short stream. I didn't get a chance to record a hero battle video to post today. I know we had last week off. I'm going to be back on Wednesday morning with a new hero battle video. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to have my full normal Hex stream slot starting about noon and going until about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for the wonderful resubs. I do appreciate it. I'm going to find someone to host here.